Gemini, welcome to August 2017. This is Gwendolyn. Welcome back to the channel, or if it's your first time here, welcome. This video is going to be, I'm going to start with the tarot reading, and then there's also this month 2 eclipses going on. There's a lunar eclipse August 7th, and then a solar eclipse August 21st, as well as a Mercury retrograde that goes from August 13th through the rest of the month. So I'm going to start off with the tarot reading, and then I'll talk a little bit about the astrology. I usually make individual videos for each of the new moons and the full moons. Sometimes I make those, sometimes I skip them, but anyway, let's see what's going on for Gemini for August 2017. It's interesting because the new moon in Leo is happening in your 3rd house of communications. So I'll talk more about that when we get to it. But for right now, let's see, Gemini. Okay, so it looks like at the beginning of the month, Gemini, you might have some, I don't know if I would call it stagnant energy, but a little bit stuck. You might be having a hard time making a decision, especially regarding money matters. Sometimes when 4 of Cups shows up, it means that we're concerned about money matters, or that we're trying to hold on to our last cent. It means that we're feeling like we have to hold on to everything in order to maintain ourselves. It's really kind of scarcity mentality. And it might just be that you're trying to decide whether something is worth spending money on or not. You're kind of stuck between, I'm kind of seeing this as like, I want this thing, that's this sword, but this sword is saying, you know, I don't know if I have enough for it, or I don't know if it's worth it, or if I spend the money on this thing, then I'm not going to have enough. So it's kind of like both of these cards are not cards of action. They're cards of stasis, remaining in the same place. I do like to point out that in this card, his heart is blocked because he's so wrapped up with money. He's got money on his mind, money in front of his heart, money on under both feet. And in this one, she's blindfolded because she can't decide between one or the other. So she's just checking out. She's like, I'm not going to make a decision. I can't. So if you're having a hard time making a decision on something, I really want you to look at what is going to free you versus what is going to confine you. So like if you choose this sword, is that going to free you up? Are you going to be happy about it? Are you going to feel liberated? Or if you choose the thing, are you going to be stuck? Are you going to feel like, oh, now I have all these payments to make on it, or I've spent the money I need for something else? The reason I'm asking that is because I see this Devil card, and Devil card can be about seductions, things that glitter to the eye but that are not really gold, things that, like, this is kind of buyer's regret. I hate to put it that way in this case, but it's kind of like you sold your soul to this thing and now you're stuck. Or that it was just addictive and seductive and it talked you into it, and now you're kind of paying the price for it. So if you're trying to make a decision on something, Gemini, especially with this card in the reverse, this is 7 of Wands, and this means standing up for yourself, feeling like assertive, feeling like you're defending your space. It almost feels like you're being talked into something. I don't know why, but it feels like you're trying not to make a decision because you kind of want it, but you know it's kind of not a good deal. And it's asking you to sign away your own sovereignty. Like, this is you being free, being liberated, standing up for yourself, being assertive, declaring what's right for you. And I get the sense that something wants you to decide against yourself and get stuck under it instead. So I'm really going to encourage you, Gemini, if you have any hesitancy in making a decision about something, really look to, I'm going to ask you again, like, look to see what's going to make you free. What is going to make you feel strong, liberated, happy, whole, integrated. Not, these are, I don't like this decision, Gemini. I'm glad you're not making this decision yet, because I'll just say be cautious with a decision that you make. Be careful, because if you're thinking, oh, I might get tied up in something, that's what the cards are saying, is that make sure that you don't trade away. Make sure you don't sign up for a bad contract. Make sure that you don't go for the thing. I'm almost seeing like a red Corvette or something that you buy out of an impulse buy because it was seductive, and then you're realizing, oh, I have payments on this now that make me feel stretched thin. I don't know. There's something going on where something's being presented to you. You're not so sure about it. And it's taking up your mental space, and it's asking you to disvalue yourself, or I'm not gonna say disown, but to sign yourself away to something else. So I'm gonna say don't go for it, Gemini. Whatever it is, or look at it very carefully. What's going to free you and what is going to constrain you? What is going to feel like satisfying and liberating, or even just like rational and practical, versus what is maybe seductive and appealing, but if it's anything to do with an addiction or anything to do with a relationship that looks dangerous, or I don't know. I'm just going to say the caution signs are out. First part of August, Gemini. If you're having hesitancy, just wait. Wait till like week 2 to decide on anything. How about that? Or the middle of August. Just push pause, because this is stuck, and this is saying, okay, well, I'm going to kind of come at you when you're not so sure about things and try to convince you to go this way. Don't do it. It's turning you upside down, Gemini. So I would say, yeah, really consider your decision making before signing up for something that may look good on the surface. It's reminding me of that Pinocchio story with this. You know how the boys in Pinocchio are promised like candy for dinner every night in this amusement park, and it's just sort of like paradise where they don't have to work and they just get to play and eat ice cream. But when they go there, they turn into donkeys. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting with this card, and with you upside down. So I think I've said enough about that. But just wait until the middle of the month to make any decisions, Gemini, especially if it's giving you any pause for consideration. I don't want to see you upside down. And then, or I don't want to see you stripped of your power either, because that's what this guy's into. Second part of August, or middle of August, gosh, I see this swindler again. There's somebody middle of August that, this is the woman who has all the riches. She's abundant. She's prosperous. This is Empress. This is the woman who has all, the crown jewels. She has everything she touches turns into more. She's the goddess of growth and birth and fertility and, again, prosperity and abundance. With her in reverse, and this guy looking at her, this is the guy who's trying to like steal all the swords. So, and I sometimes call this card picking up the pieces. Like, this is learning about past mistakes. This is, so there could be an element of learning from past mistakes here, Gemini, that robs you of your happiness. This is 10 of Cups in reverse. So 10 of Cups in the upright means happiness, joy, family, the happy family. It's the couple with the 2 kids. They're dancing. They're looking up at the rainbow. It's like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow card where everything's fulfilled and happy. But I'm almost seeing with this that there's a couple different ways I'm seeing this. This could be like somebody who's trying to swindle something. I always see this card as like the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is like that Clint Eastwood, or I can't remember. No, it's A Fistful of Dollars, where he's trying to make something off of both sides by fighting them against each other. I'm seeing him as the swindler. I don't know why. And he's right in line, actually, with this decision. I don't know whether to go left or right. And he's also like, it's not a fair, equal, balanced transaction. This is the card of balance. It's the card of give and take. It's a card of exchange of value for, you know, a certain amount of work being put out and fair compensation. You know, it's balanced money for the thing being exchanged. This is out of balance. It's out of whack. Somebody is trying to get away with something here. And I see him looking at Empress, trying, like, kind of salivating over her riches or jewels or something. Again, this could be male or female. So could this. It's just an archetypal image. So if you're relating to Empress, or if you're feeling like, I'm kind of seeing these two as reflections of one another. This is the one who feels full, satisfied, complete, abundant, prosperous. This one has money too. This is almost like King Midas. He has money, but he's like clenching onto every last cent. She's like, let it flow. I know twice as much is coming to me. So I'm kind of getting these are both reflections of you, but one of them is fearful and one of them is trusting. But in the reverse position, it's like he's kind of trying to get one over on her, or something weird is going on. I'm getting the sense in the middle of August, Gemini, you're being given the opportunity to learn from past mistakes, to say, oh no, when I did this, it robbed me of my happiness. There's actually a quote from my father that I love, that he always says, people tell you who they are. So if this person has told you who they are, if they have proven to be untrustworthy in the past, don't trust them again. Trust them to be how they've been, if you have any experience with this person. Because you may need to learn from past mistakes, Gemini, that robbed you from your happiness last time. It might rob you from your happiness again. These are abundant, prosperous, wonderful cards. Pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Everything grows from what she touches. Satisfied, prosperous, abundant, just full of life, full of energy, full of satisfaction. What is this guy doing in the middle of this? I don't usually pull clarifying cards, but I'm going to ask about this. Chariot in reverse. Decision making. So, gosh, still with this decision making. It's kind of echoing this card. Chariot has to do with victory. Chariot has to do with trusting your gut, knowing whether to go left or right, knowing how to balance your rational, analytical mind with your wild, passionate, I'll say gut instincts side. So there's something about a decision. You're going to have to push pause, Gemini, on this one, because not on the video necessarily, but on this decision, because something needs further clarification. Something needs evaluation. This moon, you know, I had said try to make the decision second part of August, but I don't even know if you can make it then. This moon is saying you need time to evaluate things, because the moon can be about illusion. The moon is about things that are changeable, trying to determine and establish what is permanent and what is transitory, what is real and what is not real, what is deception versus what is truth, what is, you know, what is honest versus what is dishonest, what is consistent versus what is variable. So I think you really just need to get clear about something. I don't know if you have all the information, Gemini. I think what you need is someone who's going to be an expert to give you advice. This guy is the ruler of order. He's the ruler of law. He establishes the laws. He's on top of his game. He's fair. He is, he really likes things to run smoothly. So maybe it's towards the end of the month where you need to employ the authority expertise of maybe an Aries or someone who's older. I'm seeing with his white beard here, someone who has experience in the area of this decision that you're tangling with, Gemini, because there's a lot of fluctuating, there's a lot of stuff that doesn't seem on the up and up here. And even with these coins, it shows that there's potential money to be lost in this situation. I'm seeing King of Coins, Six of Coins, and Page of Coins, all in reverse. This is the head of the company, you know, the financier, the person who makes decisions regarding the money. This is a fair trade, fair exchange, an equal bargain, equal contract. And this is an offering of money. So this is saying, like, here's my investment. Here is what I'm putting into the kitty. Here is what, I don't like it, Gemini. I'm going to say, if you're going to go that way, if you're trying to make any decision, this could be a love decision, or this could be financial decision, or whatever this decision is regarding, get expertise, get the input from someone who has experience, from someone who is a veteran in that field, from someone who is very orderly in their thinking and very clear in terms of knowing how things run, because that could save you from a lot of heartache, a lot of being swept upside down, and a lot of feeling like you're stuck. Something, Gemini, you have Empress here, and you have 10 of Cups. So this is like fullness and abundance. This is here for you, especially mid-month. But you have to be careful about not giving it away to something that's not worthy of. This decision is going to be an important one. It's very interesting. I'm going to say get advice. Really look for that Emperor. Again, Aries is usually Emperor, or an older authority figure. This could be male or female. Generally, it shows up as male. Interesting, too, that you have Empress in reverse and Emperor in the upright. He's really the key to all this. He's really what's going to help you. His rational, thinking things through, knowing how things go. He's kind of savvy to the business world, or whatever it is that this is regarding. He's going to help you make a decision. You have a good reason to be like, no, I think I need to hold on to everything. I think I need to hold on to my coins, because I can feel that they might all dump away. Yeah, avoid bad contracts, especially second half of August, Gemini. If you're looking to sign a contract or get into any kind of financial deal or anything related to that, just wait. Just wait till after the first week of September. It's not worth it. If you're having any reservations, don't do it. Get help. Get expert advice. That's kind of just keeps what keeps coming up for me. And, you know, hold on to your luxuries, your happiness, your riches, there's good stuff here. This is very loving. This is very fulfilled. You don't want to give that away, Gemini. You have too much good stuff to jeopardize it, or to, I'm going to say, bargain with it. It's not worth it. Not right now. Just wait would be my recommendation. Or make sure that you have all the information related to this. Make sure it doesn't put you in a compromising position, and get expert advice. It's really, your judgment is not featured right now. It's decision making is in reverse. It's clouded. It's not moving forward. It's backwards motion. So that's gonna be my overall read for you, Gemini. Just trust your gut and trust expert advice. Don't jump into something hoping and wishing and praying and keeping your fingers crossed that it's going to work out, because you might end up giving away your beneficial things, your happiness, to something that is not in your interests. So the other thing I was going to talk about is the new moon in Leo in your third house, August 21st, and the full moon in Aquarius that's in your ninth house. So it's August 7th that is the lunar eclipse, and that's a full moon in Aquarius. So there's something regarding your ninth house that you may be coming to completion on. You may be getting ready to let that go. You may be getting some illumination on that. And ninth house usually has to do with exploring, with travel, with higher learning. So there may be something, for some of you, it may translate that you are completing a course of higher learning. For some of you, it may be completing a trip and finally feeling settled. And the feelings of feeling like, okay, I'm up in the air, or I'm traveling, or, you know, you're releasing those emotions. Because usually full moons have to do with releasing something that has served us, but has come to completion and we no longer need it. It's served its purpose. So your feelings about something in ninth house, higher learning, spiritual, religion, philosophy. Some of you may be letting go of an old philosophy that you used to hold, or a certain way of thinking. For some of you, it may be letting go of a certain appeal of something that's foreign. It'll turn up different ways for each of you, but those are all the ninth house themes. Higher learning, religion, travel, publishing. For some of you, it may just be like finally releasing that manuscript, finally publishing that book. It's finally coming to culmination, to fruition, something that you feel strongly about. And then that new moon in Leo happens on August 21st in your third house of communication. So you guys are discovering or beginning, you have the opportunity to begin a new way of communicating, and almost like developing a new language, because third house is the home placement of Gemini. So this new moon in Leo is just making you feel like more yourself. You might be wanting to socialize more. You might be wanting to just hang out with your friends. You might be really in the mode of like going to parties, or just being spontaneous. That's all third house stuff. But you might just find yourself extra chatty. Like a lot of you might just be talking on the phone a lot. But if you had an interest in learning a new language, wonderful time to begin that. And or if you wanted to learn a new way of speaking, like a new way of expressing yourself, third house has to do with expression. So I'm also going to say, if you wanted to use different words, or like study nonviolent communication, or if you wanted to say express yourself through painting or writing, that's all third house stuff. So yeah, if you are looking to begin something like that, you've got a wonderful fireball of energy with all this Leo stuff going on for the next 6 months. And it could have some nice results if you begin it now. So trust your instincts, take time to gather information. Don't cast your pearls to swine here in August. Don't sign up for anything where you're just like keeping your fingers crossed and wishing for the best. Get expert advice and take some time to deliberate, like what's real and what's not real, what's consistent versus what's changeable. You don't want to give yourself away and turn yourself upside down to something that's not going to serve you. It's trust yourself, and if there's big decisions to be made, maybe just push pause and wait till mid-September to make those decisions, Gemini. It's not like there's any rush. So if it's a good enough deal, it'll come back around, or it'll remain. They'll allow you the time to think things over. So that's my reading for you, Gemini. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up or share it with another Gemini who you think might enjoy that message. If you would like to book a reading with me to get a personal reading, you can do that by visiting my website. I'll have a link up above. And if you have any questions or comments, I definitely welcome those. You can put those down below. And as always, I just want to thank everyone so much for watching. Yours and the stars.